Ownership is shrinking. Your car, your thermostat, the software you thought you bought can be switched off, leased back, or held hostage by a company update. Imagine waking up, reaching for your keys, and finding your car locked by a remote command you can't reverse. Imagine paying for an app for years and losing features overnight. This isn't a dystopian future. It's happening now, quietly reshaping what it means to own anything. Stick around and you'll see concrete examples that affect your money, privacy, and freedom. Learn the traps manufacturers and platforms use, and get practical steps to reclaim control before your next purchase comes with invisible strings. How the sharing economy concept is evolving into digital feudalism, where individuals are stripped of their assets and become entirely dependent on corporate platforms. Digital goods and platform-mediated services are sold and managed as revocable licenses rather than as durable possessions. That shift changes the legal and practical boundary between owning something and merely being allowed to use it. Kindle owners discovered this when Amazon remotely removed copies of books from devices, proving that buying an ebook often means holding a license that can be rescinded. Software and media vendors routinely use digital rights management and account-based access to tie content to a platform instead of to a person. Companies that once advertised access and convenience now control the lifelines of what people thought they possessed. Ride-hailing platforms can deactivate a driver's account and instantly cut off their livelihood. Short-term rental platforms can delist a host property and erase their primary income stream. The Epic Games litigation spotlighted how app stores can pull entire businesses off a distribution channel by enforcing gatekeeping rules or commission structures. Platforms also update terms of service unilaterally, changing what users can do with their accounts or assets, often with little practical recourse. Hardware is not immune. Modern cars increasingly run on software that manufacturers can update or throttle remotely, and many automakers have tightened repair and diagnostic access behind proprietary tools and authenticated services. Farmers and independent mechanics have raised concerns when manufacturers deny access to service manuals or device-level control, forcing them to go through authorized channels. Likewise, e-scooter and car-sharing fleets demonstrate how physical objects become ephemeral. Vehicles can be geofenced, remotely disabled, or rendered inaccessible if the platform chooses to do so. Economic dependency follows. When an asset's utility depends on a corporate account, that company holds leverage over resale, repair, and continued use. Subscription models cement dependence. Seize payments and software suites, connected home services, or premium car features can vanish. Creative professionals who moved from perpetual license tools to subscription-based suites found that paying the fee now buys access rather than a transferable product, complicating resale of workstations or legacy workflows. Power imbalances extend into data and governance. Platforms collect usage data and apply opaque algorithms to rank, throttle, or promote listings and services, meaning access to markets is mediated by corporate code. Hosts, drivers, and creators often cannot see how decisions affecting their income were made, and appeals processes are controlled within the same platforms. This creates a loyalty versus control paradox. Users depend on platforms for reach and revenue, while platforms retain unilateral control over the rules and resources. The result is a subtle but consequential transfer of sovereignty from individuals to corporations. Ownership becomes conditional, contingent on compliance with shifting policies and on continued goodwill from gatekeepers. People still hold keys and sit behind wheels, but many of those keys unlock doors that a remote hand can close, and that hand increasingly belongs to corporate platforms whose incentives favor recurring fees, data capture, and control over secondary markets. Remember the last time your car wouldn't start because of an update, or a file you paid for vanished behind DRM. Imagine those small frustrations as symptoms of a bigger shift. Control moving from owners to corporations, from physical keys to remote licenses. The stakes are practical and personal: money, privacy, independence. Direct summary of key points. 1. Ownership is being diluted by subscription models and licensing that replace perpetual ownership. 2. Hardware and software increasingly depend on remote servers and vendor permission to function. 3. Legal and technical barriers, DRM, EULAs, proprietary interfaces, lock users out of true control. 4. This affects everyday life, cars, homes, work tools, and the culture of repair and reuse. This matters to you because ownership isn't just a legal term. It shapes how you live, move, and create. If you've ever felt powerless when tech decides for you, you're not alone. If this resonated, tell us your story in the comments, share the video with someone who should hear this, and subscribe to keep the conversation alive. Check the links below for resources to audit devices, find repair-friendly alternatives, and join advocacy efforts. In the next video, we'll dig into practical steps you can take tomorrow, how to spot vendor lock-in, tools to reclaim control, and real-world examples of communities fighting to keep ownership alive. Ownership may be slipping, but we can learn how to hold on.